Hi again, wrestling fans, and welcome to Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling. What a great night of wrestling we just witnessed. Let's go over the results from the Richmond Coliseum in front of a large, enthusiastic crowd. In the opening contest, beautiful Bruce Swayze faced off against Tiger Conway Jr. Conway looked to be in control until Swayze's new manager, Boris Malenko, began to repeatedly interfere, and that advantage proved to be the difference as beautiful Bruce Swayze picked up the pinfall victory. He is on quite the roll as of late. The next match was a tag team contest that featured the young team of Sergeant Slaughter's Privates with the Serge himself at ringside against the veteran team of Les Thatcher and Dan Miller. The Privates dominated most of the action. Les Thatcher was seemingly so enamored with Joyce Grable sitting at ringside that after Peavy Kernodle made fun of the two, Thatcher angrily threw Kernodle over the top rope, prompting referee Tommy Young to call for the bell. After the match, his partner demanded a rematch this week on television. Fans, that match has been booked, and we'll see it Saturday. In the next match, the co-main event featured two men very familiar with each other. Number one, Paul Jones and Chief Wahoo McDaniel. Wahoo delayed the match, demanding Jim Crockett change the match to a no DQ match. After referee Sonny Fargo threatened to disqualify him, he entered the ring and the match began. The contest was back and forth as each man laid down lots of punishment. It seemed to me that every time Wahoo gained an advantage, he would look over his shoulder, apparently looking for Johnny Valentine. Just as it looked like Wahoo would get his revenge, Paul Jones shoved referee Sonny Fargo to the ground, which prompted his disqualification. As the bell rang, Johnny Valentine hit the ring and threatened Sonny Fargo. The Big Chief stepped in, and he and Johnny Valentine went face-to-face in a heated confrontation. And in the main event, the Flying Scots, Sandy and George, took on Ole and Gene Anderson, the Minnesota Wrecking Crew. Quite honestly, fans, this was one of the wildest matches I've seen in years. The match went back and forth with neither team willing to lose. George Scott hit a flying head scissors that looked to be the winning move, only to see Gene Anderson kick out as the last possible second. Moments later, the Scots performed their finishing move, a perfect double drop kick, only to have Ole save Gene this time from a certain defeat. Gene finally made the tag to Ole, who hit a knee strike to Sandy. The Andersons then double-teamed him and hit a double back elbow, and Gene Anderson covered him for the 1-2-3. The Anderson brother had won the Mid-Atlantic Tag Team titles in a thrilling contest. The team of the Mongols, Bepo and Guido, came out after the match and with the microphones in hand and seemingly berated the Scott brothers. However, fans, I'm not sure what they were saying, and neither did anyone else in the arena. Fans, just a reminder, don't forget our next event coming up. From the WRAL TV studio this Saturday, you'll see such stars as Bad Bad, Leroy Brown, the Privates in tag team action against Les Thatcher and Bill Miller, Johnny Valentine taking on Tiger Conway Jr. We'll talk with the new tag team champions, the Anderson brothers, and in the main event, a tag team match between the Mongols and the Flying Scots. Well, fans, there you have it. Tune in later this week for our next exciting wrestling review. Until then, so long for now. Hi again, wrestling fans, and welcome to Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling. What a great afternoon of wrestling we just witnessed. Let's go over the results from the WRAL TV studio taping. In the opening contest, the Missouri Mauler faced Bad Bad Leroy Brown. It was a short affair as Leroy Brown was quickly disqualified for repeated illegal tactics. Referee Sonny Fargo had seen enough and called for the bell. The next match was a grudge match challenge issued by Bill Miller to the Privates. This was a very entertaining match, wrestling fans. Les Thatcher connected with a crossbody that looked to be the end for the Privates, but Don Kernodle kicked out and the Privates turned things around as Private Kernodle was able to pin Thatcher and win the grudge match. Sergeant Slaughter came out after the win, but he wasn't acknowledged by the celebrating team of the Privates and angrily turned to left the ring. In the next match, Johnny Valentine made quick work of Tiger Conway Jr. And in the main event, the Flying Scots took on the Mongols. We were informed just before the bell that the winner of this match would have a title match with the recently crowned tag team champions, the Minnesota Wrecking Crew. The Scott brothers were tag team wrestling personified as they dominated the action with slick moves and constant tags. The Mongols finally had had enough. Guido grabbed George by the trunks and tossed him over the top rope, prompting the disqualification. After the match, the Scott brothers and Anderson brothers had a heated argument as the show ended. Fans, just a reminder, don't forget our next event coming up this Thursday at the Norfolk Scope. You'll see such stars as Mr. Wrestling Tim Woods, Rufus R Freight Train Jones, Sergeant Slaughter, a semifinal match for the United States Heavyweight Championship between Wahoo McDaniel and Greg Valentine. And in the main event, the Flying Scots take on the tag team champions, the Minnesota Wrecking Crew. Well, fans, there you have it. Tune in later this week for our next exciting wrestling review. Until then, so long for now.